What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Malice in Wonderland, episode 18 to be exact, and we got a great show lined up for you today, starting with the earthquake in Myanmar at the top of the hour. Then we're going to be talking about Nessie and Aleister Crowley's connections in conspiracy court. After that, we're going to talk about dying Epstein victims. Then we're going to go down the Reddit hole, and we're going to leave you off with some wise words from someone who is definitely not Dr. Jordan P. Peterson. Thank you very much, and welcome to the show. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
This fucking bastard.
Counting this whole air?
I know, go ahead, count it.
Yeah. Come on. No bullshit. Prince.
Hey, don't fucking touch me, scumbag.
Yeah. Smack blood and skull fragments out your face. Clap stubs at your mother's casket, walking out of a wake. Bang. Young Pesci, fuck will come test me. Fake your suicide the same way they hung Epstein.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, Niko Kaylor, and I'm here with my homie, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. You see his name at the bottom of the screen. He needs no introduction. It's Mr. Pablo Escobarz. How the fuck you doing today, Pablo? You living good?
Hey, nigga, I'm doing great. You know, you call me Amigas. I hope you hear that how phone today, dog. It's a special day on the podcast for us.
It is. It's April Fool's
Especially
Day.
for this guy right here, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's my birthday. Technically, we're filming this on April Fool's Day, but it's going to come out on my birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Me. Happy birthday. I like to do the whole thing because it's really long, but you know I love you.
Okay, yeah, we get the picture. Anybody at home, if you want to finish the song, you can finish the song. Also, if you're at home and you're watching us right now, don't forget to join the mob. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go to the link tree. Go to the TikTok. Go to the Instagram. Go to your mother's hamper and see if our boxer's in there. I think I left them there last week. You know, I need those back. They're important to me. Okay.
I like to put them in your grandma's ass folds. Yeah.
But anyway, so listen, we've had a crazy news week. We've had earthquakes. You know, we're going to talk a lot about what's been going on in the world. You ready to get into it, Doug?
I'm excited, man. Happy birthday to you, man. I'm ready. Let's go, Doc.
Bringing you hard-hitting news. It's the Malice in Wonderland News Blitz.
All right, so our first story at the top of the hour is the Myanmar earthquake. The death toll has topped 1,700 amid rescue efforts, my friend. The death toll from a devastating earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand continues to rise as rescue efforts progress. So search and rescue efforts continue in Myanmar and Thailand as the death toll climbs in the wake of Friday's 7.7 magnitude earthquake. In Myanmar, officials confirmed the March 28th earthquake killed more than 1,700 people. A government spokesman reported at least 300 people remain unaccounted for, and they confirmed another 3,000 injured. Now, this was crazy, bro. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos from this earthquake, but we're actually going to show one in Down the Reddit hole. We're going to be seeing it. I'm not going to explain it to you, but it's the craziest thing. Have you seen any of these videos?
I've seen some of these videos actually of like some people stuck inside the rubble and shit. Like hey man, they're going through a really hard time there. Our condolences from the podcast to you guys, man. I hope everything's okay.
And it just
stressful
goes
situations.
Exactly, and it just goes to show how much the world has changed since, like, you know, we were younger. Because think about it, when we were younger, things like these, we never saw these firsthand accounts. We didn't see people's cell phone footage. We just saw the things that the news showed us. And now we see the realities of these tragedies in real time, man. And it makes me happy, and it makes me feel good about the fact that I live somewhere that is relatively geologically stable, as well as you know what I'm saying? Like we're lucky for that, dog. Like, we're lucky that we ain't dealing with all the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to know what that feels like. That's crazy.
I'd rather
The floor
deal
from
with a
under you.
million hurricanes in Florida than one fucking crazy earthquake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Every time. Every time. Every
exactly,
time.
bro. Exactly. It's crazy because it's just something that's real hard to predict. It's a lot of times it comes out of nowhere and it just fucking devastates everything in its path. Like, I get it. Hurricanes are powerful, they're destructive. Storms are powerful, they're destructive, but earthquakes are a different thing, my friend. Like when you're just sleeping and you're like hurricanes, you got like 2 weeks to know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like a hurricane, you
Yeah,
knew for
yeah.
2 weeks that bitch was coming.
He's
They've been
loud,
talking about it
but the
on the news
earthquake's quiet.
incessantly. Yeah, it's like just, hey, I'm here. But yeah, that was a crazy story. I felt like I wanted to put it on the top of the news because, you know, I like to be supportive of people and the things they go through and their tragedies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we as people just, I feel like we need to understand how blessed we are sometimes, you know, that we get to
Amen.
live.
Amen. Amen.
Exactly, because like we're a relatively stable country. Like we have the San Andreas fault line and stuff like that, but we don't have constant crazy earthquakes like some of these fucking places. Like I would hate to live in the Philippines or Thailand or any
The
of those fucking
Philippines.
or anywhere on the Ring of Fire. But
Thailand.
Thailand, yeah. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I know
Thailand.
Thailand.
The
Thailand
lady
is
boy.
Thailand. Lady boys. We got lady boys and earthquakes.
But yeah,
But
seriously, we're trying to bring some joke into it, but yeah, it's serious.
it is a very serious situation, and what we're going to talk about next, my friend, is a very serious situation. Our next news story right here. On my birthday, Trump has dubbed Wednesday Liberation Day as the globe grids for a new tariff rollout. So, as trade wars launched by President Donald Trump continue to escalate, all eyes are on Wednesday. Trump has repeatedly called April 2nd, my birthday, Liberation Day,
Happy
only
birthday.
apt for a guy like me, but with promises to roll out a set of tariffs or taxes on imports from other countries that he says will free the U.S. from reliance on foreign goods. To do this, Trump has said he'll impose reciprocal tariffs to match the duties that other countries charge on U.S. products. But a lot remains unknown about how these levies will actually be implemented. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Monday that Trump will unveil plans to place reciprocal tariffs on nearly all American trading partners on Wednesday, but maintain that the details are up to the president to announce. So it sounds like some tariffs are going to be hitting the world pretty hard on Wednesday. And, you know, we got places like Canada that are playing chicken with us, but it's like, dude, your economy is like 1/100th the size of ours. You're not going to win. Like, you're literally just doing it for the news, you know what I'm saying? And for the like, oh, look at what we're doing. And if you go look into it, it's something that's an older story from like last week that I missed, but I could maybe bring it into down the Reddit hole if you want to talk about it. But if you look, so Canada plays
I love the Reddit hole. Tight hole.
Canada plays 6,000 tariffs on different goods supposedly coming from the American, coming from Canada to America, or goods coming into Canada from America, rather. Let me correct myself. But if you look at the list of tariffs, like a lot of it is shit that doesn't even come from America, and it's kind of just to get it to that 6,000 thing so that it sounds like they're doing something big to the news, like, oh, Canada put out 6,000 fucking tariffs, but then you find out like some of the tariffs, you can look this up, are on manatee meat. Nobody's shipping fucking manatee meat. Accordion parts.
Hey, that's fancy nigga shit, bro. That's rich people shit.
Like,
get on it.
Emu eggs, like just shit that like doesn't
Giraffe
even
neck.
we don't even ship to Canada. Like ridiculous, like hundreds and hundreds of things that aren't even actual exports to Canada. They have tariffs on. And to me, it's like, it's just positioning for the news for the news to like say, oh, look at these 6,000 tariffs. Kind of like when
They're
Canada
doing
was,
something.
exactly. Kind of like when Canada was like, oh, we're gonna put tariffs on your energy, and then for like 2 weeks, people were running around like, oh, the people in these 4 states are gonna be paying so much more because Canada's tariffing them because Trump is so bad and da 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 da. And then
Oh,
you
no.
find out when you look into it, you people have been believing the wrong thing for 2 weeks, because literally what happened the very next day is Trump said, oh yeah, okay, well, all the tariffs I already put, they just doubled. And then instantly Canada was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That guy who said that, he didn't have the authority to say that. You know what I'm saying? But still for 2 weeks, at least 3 weeks, everybody repeated that, hey, Americans are paying $200 extra a month for their electricity. And that never happened. It was just a funny, great story that sounded good for them to put out to help their cause. But then they tell you the first part, but then when they retract it, they don't correct themselves and say, oh,
So
well,
this
the
is
thing.
this is basic politics, man. This is what they always
Exactly.
do. They're gonna present to
Exactly.
you a bullshit story. They're gonna tell you to eat it. Most people are gonna eat it. Most people are gonna eat that shit happy because people. I
Exactly.
know you guys are scared of the future. I know you guys are scared of reality, and that's why you like choose to blame everything on everybody else but yourself. Because usually the people who don't want to see this shit take no accountability for nothing. But go ahead, I could be
Exactly.
wrong.
I don't think you're wrong at all. Accountability is lost in this country, and we're searching for it. We're going to find it. We're going to find the accountability, and we're going to force it upon
It's
a lot of
somewhere where the
people.
shame's at.
Exactly. It's wherever the shame is at, that's where the accountability's hiding too, and we're going to bring them all out. We're going to bring them all
For
out.
real.
We're going to give people accountability and shame. That's what this country needs. You know what I'm saying? But on to our next story. Another thing that the country needed that I think was a great fucking thing that happened. We talked about this story last week and how crazy this stuff got. Is DOGE
Yeah,
issues
notice.
mass firings at U.S. Institute of Peace. Remember we talked about this? How like they tried to not let Doge in the first time, and then the second time
Yeah.
Doge brought the FBI, and then they called the cops on them, and then the cops were like, "You guys can go in." And it's like I said last show, like when did the cops have authority over the FBI? Like every movie and TV show or anything about FBI agents, when they show up, the cops got to go like.
Yeah. You
What
ever
is the
played cops
trope?
in South Park?
Yeah, like what is the big trope in movies? Like, oh no, the feds are here. This is supposed to be my case. They're gonna take it over. But apparently in Washington, D.C., the FBI
That's
needs
not the
the
truth.
police's fucking permission to get into buildings, federal buildings. I don't know why. But so, according to multiple sources, between 200 and 300 employees were terminated, nearly all of the institution staff based at its headquarters. These firings follow President Donald Trump's February executive order aimed at dismantling USIP, a congressionally funded private organization. A congressionally funded private organization that gets
Ha,
billions of dollars in tax money every year to what? To spend it unaccountably on things that we don't
bullshit.
know.
That's for what?
Exactly. And they don't have to tell us what they're spending it on. But the thing is, like, we know what the USIP is. The USIP is just like the USAID was. It is an arm and a tool for these motherfuckers at the top to bully other countries into doing what we wanted them to. And a lot of it was a lot of CIA shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of backdoor, like we're gonna funnel the money through here so it's not through official government channels. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they get to do sick experiments and sick tests and sick things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do under the
Redacted.
eye.
We're not talking about it. We don't want to admit to nothing. We never did nothing. You niggas are insane. Conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat, blase, 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 constant fucking bombardment with nothing real and deflect, deflect, deflect. This is what we're always
Exactly.
gonna
And
get from either side playing the game. When a liar's a liar doesn't admit, and they die on the lie. I promise. I know. I've been that guy. I will
ex-
die on it if I don't lie. So if I have to, I die on it. Right?
Exactly.
part.
Kind of like we're not going to go into this situation, but the guy who was ready to die on his line at my lie at my workplace the other day. But we're gonna stay off that topic, and we're gonna get into our next news story, which also has to do with Doge. This is great, bro. Elon Musk's Doge will investigate lawmakers' wealth, suggests money trails lead back to Congress. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk is raising questions about how members of Congress accumulate vast personal fortunes despite their relatively modest government salaries. Speaking at a town hall event in Wisconsin on Sunday night, Musk announced that his Department of Government Efficiency will investigate the financial dealings of lawmakers who have become strangely wealthy. So this is from Elon Musk, quote, "There is a massive amount of corruption."
They coming for you, swampers.
Yes, there is a Elon Musk said, quote, "There is a massive amount of corruption. Effectively, there's a giant fraud loophole where the government can send money to an NGO that is then no longer the government by laws of the United U.S. Let's just say there are a lot of strangely wealthy members of Congress. We're looking at you, Chuck Schumer. We're looking at you, Mitch McConnell. We're looking at you, Lindsey Graham. We're looking at you, Nancy Pelosi. Both sides of the aisle. We're looking at both sides of the aisle. We're looking at you rich old Republicans
That side, this side.
and you rich old fucking Democrats. See, that's the thing I like to tell people about our side. You know, like if you try to get like a liberal or a Democrat to say anything bad about their party or somebody in their party, they just will not do it. They will go to the point of they will go to the point of supporting things that are like getting close to pedophilia and crazy shit that like no normal person would support, rather than say maybe these people are a little fucking crazy. But us on this side, you know, and I don't consider myself on the right. I'm more of a centrist libertarian, but what I do see on the right is a lot of people hold their own party accountable. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing over here? Like, we didn't vote for that. We don't want that. Hey, Mitch McConnell. Hey, Lindsey Graham. Hey, Dan Crenshaw. Like, we take it to our own party. We don't just kowtow to our party and say stuff about the other side. We're like, hey, bitch, this has to change on both things. And the thing is, like, this thing about Doge and investigating these money trails, it's funny because this not too long ago was like on both sides of the aisle a discussion that us normal people had, like whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, was like, how did these people get so rich? And now all of a sudden the Democrats are like, oh, we can't ask about that. Their private lives are private. And it's like, wait, what? Like,
well, fuck your private life, right?
Like, fuck your private life. You ended your private life the minute you got into public service. That's why it's called public service.
You don't want to be looked at. You don't want to be researched and talked about. That don't work in fucking public. Go work for a private sector where nobody can see you.
Exactly. If you come into the public and you're taking taxpayer dollars, and you're fair
Shout
game
out to my
for
guy,
an
Eli.
audit, bitch. You are fair game for an audit, and we will audit you, and we will see where that money came from. Because guess what? Nobody ever did exactly what they're going to do right now, which is audit these motherfuckers and find out exactly why people... Yes, exactly why people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, you know, all these people taking money from different things like the defense companies, pharmaceutical companies, APAC, you know what I'm saying? Because this is both sides of the aisle. Like, if you look at a majority of these people, you'll see them disagree all the time. But if you see their donors, you're like, You both get huge donations from APAC. You both get huge donations from like places like Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. You both get huge donations from the pharmaceutical companies and the banking institutions.
Both sides. Listen, we can to the grandest scale in politics and everything under. Everything that's a versus that has somebody over it, like an Overwatch. It's all being paid for by the same people. Exactly. The people who don't have to partake in it. The people who get to sit back and watch us laugh, make money, and it's just a whole. You couldn't even fathom what it is to be
a
as rich as
long
those
time
people.
ago. A long time. I recently heard a speech from a long time ago. I can't remember exactly who it was from, but he was kind of talking a lot. He was kind of talking a lot about like what exactly we're talking about right now. But anyway, we're gonna get into our next news story, which this one's a great one too, and I think this one is great for people like my girl and people out there who like to go do things, you know. And this is pretty awesome. Check it out, dog. Trump
Let's go
signs
do things
executive
together.
order to protect
Yeah, people.
Americans from exploitive ticket scalping in the entertainment industry. So, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to protect Americans from exploitive ticket scalping in the concert and entertainment industry, Fox News Digital has learned. The president signed the order Monday evening in the Oval Office. Kid Rock joined the president for the signing ceremony. The president's executive order directs the Federal Trade Commission to work with the Attorney General to ensure that competition laws are enforced in the concert and entertainment industry. The order also enforces the Better Online Ticket Sales Act and promotes its enforcement by state consumer protection agencies. So, a lot of times, like when I don't know if you've bought a ticket in recent years, but a lot of times the ticket price that it says in the beginning ain't the one at the end. And then if you don't get the ticket and you got to get it off the secondhand market, now the ticket is priced 400% above what it was just
Yeah.
bought for 20 minutes ago. That's
I used to
all
do that
about
shit
to
for Ultra. It
change.
just happened this weekend. I used to do that when I was in high school. So yeah.
Yeah, like that's all about to change, and it's about to change for the better. Like the stress and aggravation, I see it. My girl loves shows. My girlfriend loves going to shows, and I love to see her go to things like that because it really like lifts her spirits up, and it's like a little boost that I can see last for a while in her life that just picks her up. You know what I'm saying? And she was
Yeah.
trying to get tickets to a recent concert for a band called Sleep Token, and she got them for a show in Nebraska, which a lot of people I'm sure are headed for the fucking Nebraska show, so they're a little bit easier to get. It's a smaller area, but she to try to get the tickets for the Denver show, she couldn't. No matter how hard she tried, and she was in a pre-order line and everything. And now the prices are ridiculously insane, and normal people like me and my girl can't afford the tickets. Like, and a lot of these tickets, the problem is, dog, this extra money that they're charging doesn't go to the artist, right? They only get a portion of the initial ticket sale, the original ticket sale. And on top of that, a lot of these seats go empty because people are not willing to pay the resale price. You feel me? Like for huge shit that's like really like, oh no, like, you know, people are going to definitely pay that price. But for normal events, like a lot of people, if you mark the shit up 400 or 500%, they're not going to go, you know? It's a crazy
Yeah.
thing. Um,
I mean, I'm not a big going out to concerts and shit like that because I don't like people like that. Because people want to be real close. Like you kind of guess, shit's be like sardines in a fucking can where you got no goddamn space and everybody's up on each other, fucking elbow. You pay fucking $25 for a drink. Some asshole walks by you, but he really do be an asshole. It's just no room. Knocks it out your fucking hand. You can't even talk to this motherfucker. Disappear in the crowd. Now you pissed as fuck. You standing there like an asshole. I mean, that's why I don't go to these things. But scalping is a
exactly.
real thing, man. We used to buy those
Yes.
tickets. You look Ultra. You buy. I knew a guy. Not me. I knew a guy who would buy a ticket. Buy a ticket before. Buy a ticket at the end of at the event. You get to buy a ticket for cheap when it comes back around, and take that shit $200, $100, $150 ticket. Sell that shit for $400, $600 at the fucking door. It was crazy. But go ahead, man.
Okay, so for our last story, we're going to run through it quick. You know, we like to give both sides of the coin. We don't just like to, you know, suck one side's dick and say, hey, they're great and they're all that.
Oh,
You
this
know,
podcast we suck both sticks.
yeah. Well, no, we try not to suck. I try
You
not
say
to
yeah.
suck
You
any
say yeah.
dicks.
You heard him. You heard him.
No, I try not to suck any of the dicks.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He tries.
this
It's
is
hard
something
not
I did not. I don't like that he's running around saying this so much. Like Trump's not joking about potential third terms despite constitutional barriers. Donald Trump maintains he's serious about running for a third term, suggesting there are methods to bypass constitutional limits. He does say it's too early to discuss details. Legal expert, see, things like this, bro, are the things that put me in karate stance about this motherfucker and get me defensive, because it's like
Karate Man.
like
Shout out
I gotta
Joey.
go into karate stance against you and put my guard up, because it's like you're doing a lot of great things, dog, but saying shit like this don't inspire confidence in me, because like you're probably talking shit just to like rile people
Sounds
up.
like a fucking tyrant. Yeah.
Like,
But too many people's
you're
watching,
making
man.
yourself exactly. and what are you gonna say? What are you saying to the other side when they get power again? We go over this time and time again. We got to be careful what we say, what we try to do, how far we go with revenge season.
I suck at that.
Because at some point, the Democrats will gain power again. And if we go too fucking hard, you best believe, dog. Yeah, like we're gonna pay for it. We, as citizens and as just adherents to our political party, are gonna pay for it. Like we're really gonna pay for it, because these people are willing to go to extreme
Who
lengths.
knows? That might be the psyop right there.
That might be the psyop. And I'm still got that Donald Trump might be the Antichrist on my fucking bingo card for 2025. You know what I'm saying?
Keep your eyes open.
Because he's definitely doing a lot to further the cause of the third temple being built, but we're not going to get into that. But so
The cow is red.
exactly, the cow is red, the temple is built, and the ceremony is in April. That's all we're going to say about it. But
anyways,
moving on, that was a great news section, dog. I had fun. That was informative. We ran through it. I think we learned a lot. What was your favorite story? Let us know, and then we're going to move on to conspiracy court.
I'm gonna say the tariffs, because I keep hearing everybody talking about the fucking tariffs. I would have liked to have got more in depth in the earthquake. It was really sad.
We're
situation.
gonna go a little bit more in depth and down the Reddit hole. We're gonna watch a video or two about it, but yeah, we'll go into depth about that. What up? Welcome to this week's edition of Conspiracy Court, where we're going to be examining the case of Aleister Crowley and his strange connection to our favorite cryptid, Nessie. You ready to get into the case, Judge?
Order in my court. I want silence. All right, bailiff, bring me the papers.
Do you have the files that I presented, Your Honor? It's going to
Give
be
me a second. I
files
just asked the
1, 2,
bailiff
3.
to bring me the papers. I need you to have patience.
Okay, sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, Aleister Crowley files. Heard.
Is it okay
First
that I take
page.
drinks?
Okay.
Your Honor, can I take drinks in the court?
Go ahead at your own leisure, but I need you not to eat on my time. Let's get to it.
Okay. Just as long as your mom don't bring her pussy in here, because I might not be able to resist, Your Honor.
Fucking asshole. Let's get to it.
Okay. All right, Your Honor. So this case we got going on today, we're going to be talking about Mr. 666, the great beast himself, Aleister Crowley. All right, Judge, so strap in, because this is not your grandpa's Nessie tale. There's no Peleosaur. There's no giant eels. This is Aleister fucking Crowley, Mr. 666, turning the Loch Ness into his demonic playground. Your Honor, in 1899, this rich prick, he buys Boleskine House on the southeast shore of the Loch Ness for twice the asking price. Why? Because he's an occultist and he's cooking up rituals to chat with his holy guardian angel and bind hell's demons. The ritual in question is from the Book of Abermelin, and it includes 6 months of chanting, constant masturbation, and spirit summoning in just the right crib that he needed to be in. And Boleskine's the perfect place. That's why he paid double for it, Your Honor. It was creepy.
Why is it the perfect place?
Because it was creepy. It was built on the ashes of a burned down church with a graveyard. So literally, Crowley picked this place purely for its occult power. Now, here's the kicker, right? And we're going to get into this next file, Your Honor. Do you have the files that I have presented here?
Yeah, I'm looking at Nessie and I'm looking at property.
Yes, that property.
What is this property?
It is the Boleskine house where all this occurred, Your Honor. It actually burnt down twice. We'll get into that. It's being restored right now in those pictures. It didn't look like that a few years ago, but somebody wanted to buy it and restore it. To what reason, I don't know, Your Honor, but we're not here to figure that out today. We're here to get to the bottom of this. So here's the kicker. Crowley starts this Abermelon ritual, Your Honor, in 1899 to summon the 12 kings and dukes of hell. It included pentagrams, incest, beating his meat to weird spirits, just regular old classic Crowley shit. Halfway through, though, Your Honor, the Golden Dawn calls him to Paris on some Masonic drama. Now, the Golden Dawn, Your Honor, is a secret society who was a part of that's well documented. He bails, he leaves the ritual unfinished, which, Your Honor, is a must that you must do with these demonic rituals, or if you don't, the demons run free. And that's exactly what they did. He never banished them. He left them loose in Boleskine's walls. And shortly thereafter, his lodge keeper, Hugh Gillis, then loses 2 kids on its grounds to strange accidents. Is that a coincidence? I don't know, but I do know, Your Honor, that in his own writings, Crowley brags that his experiments there got out of hand. Out of hand? I'm pretty sure ripping a hole to hell in Scotland is a little farther than out of hand. So we're going to fast forward, right?
And I see this Major Grant committed suicide.
Yes,
Is
yes.
that correct?
We're going to get into that. So fast forward to 1913, Your Honor. Crowley ditches Boleskine. In 1933, boom, Nessie explodes. The first big sighting was by a man named George Spicer. I think you may question the timing, though, because the timing's a little sus, Your Honor. It took 20 years after Crowley's exit. Why did it take so long? That's one thing that has me thinking, like, why did it take 20 years for people to see this demon that he summoned? However, it does seem, Your Honor, that Boleskine House is cursed. In 1960, a Major Grant blows his head off in Crowley's bedroom. In 2015, fire guts it, and then again in 2019. Locals swear that they've seen severed heads rolling down the hallways, shadows shuffling past doors. And here's an interesting fact, Your Honor. Jimmy Page, the frontman of Led Zeppelin, bought it in the 1970s because he was obsessed with Crowley. And after purchasing it, Led Zeppelin seemingly became cursed too. Members involved in multiple car crashes, a dead kid. The band imploded shortly thereafter. It seems like whatever Jimmy Page was doing in that house, it wasn't good for his career. Demons don't play, I guess. So Nessie isn't normal, according to... So if we ask why, in 20 years, I wanted to bring some information of why maybe in 20 years it took for people to see this. A professional monster hunter named Ted Holliday calls her supernatural. He says she hides on purpose and fucks with the cameras that we have. But here's where we want to ask some questions, Your Honor. Is there any other references to Nessie before 1913? Do we see Nessie anywhere else in history? Yes, Your Honor, we do. In 565 AD, recorded history says that St. Columba allegedly fights a water beast in the Loch Ness, and that's interesting. Crowley's ritual just cranked it up to 11. He brags in his book Magic about summoning elementals, water spirits, and chaos beasts. You botch that, and what? You get a long-necked demon swimming in your loch. Evidence is there, Your Honor. 1933 sighting Spike, Prost Crowley. Boleskine itself is a paranormal shit show with locals talking about UFOs, men in black, shapeshifters, all that kind of crazy shit. And in Crowley's own words, in his own writings, he said, I unleashed forces in the Loch Ness that I could not control. What do you think, Judge? Did he?
I mean, so what I'm seeing here, right? I guess you've got a decent argument. A lot of it feels speculative. But there is some evidence supporting your accusations. I was never a fan of Crowley. Crowley's always been known for his dark magic and his satanic rituals. I'm going to say that I deem here in this court with the information provided in front of me that this man, Aleister Crowley, is guilty beyond any. There's no need to discuss this no more. This man has escaped justice way too many times, being in hell. I hope he's suffering, and that's the end of this episode. I want this out of my court now.
Okay, Your Honor. Okay, we'll get out. I just want to say it's been great to chat with you this evening. I'm very happy about the verdict, and we're going to bring people out of your courtroom and into the doom scroll. And I know you don't really like this in your commercial, but before we get to the doom scroll, I have some shameless promotion from a company that paid me to promote them.
Who's this company?
It's going to be Goy Industries, Your Honor. They have a new
George
I got
droid.
Goys.
I have a George
droid. You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, I got one too.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I love it. But let's get into it.
Welcome to the George Droid commercial. But first, what is George Droid? George Droid is the ultimate fusion of man and machine. Once a man, now reborn through the power of Nigalink AI and the unstoppable Fentractor. In the pursuit of transcending human mortality, Nigalink scientists took on the impossible, breathing life into the lifeless. Using state-of-the-art cybernetic engineering and advanced AI integration, George Droid was forged. George Droid is not just a product, he's a statement. George Droid, reborn for tomorrow, order now, own evolution.
What up, and welcome to this week's edition of the Doom Scroll, where we're gonna show you our favorite videos from the week, and that can display a range of emotions. It could either make you sad, it can make you happy, it can make you laugh, it can make you mad. It's a grab bag of different things, you know? We're about to bring you through a roller coaster of emotions. You ready, Doug?
I'm fucking excited. Let's cry.
All right. We might laugh at this first one, but here we go.
People know this story and
we're not going to laugh at
know
this.
that Adolf Hitler didn't kill himself in a bunker in Berlin as the Red Army closed in. I think that's, we all know that was a fabricated story, or if you watch the show, you probably understand that.
The Argentinian president is releasing all these documents
using a group of underground tunnels that led to an airstrip, and that airstrip was flown. He was flown from Berlin out. It took submarines, or multiple submarines that were used, U-boats that were then sent to Argentina. In other words, Hitler lived for nearly 2 decades more in Argentina, along with vast numbers of the Third Reich. Well,
we have
now
proof of
Argentinian
that
President Javier Milei has just ordered the release of all remaining documents on all of those Nazis who fled Germany and moved to Argentina
Shout
after
out to
World
you,
War
Javier.
II. Basically, it was almost like a second base of operations in Argentina. If you're not familiar with that, like basically the Third Reich operated out of Argentina and Germany. And many of them, including Adolf Hitler, lived in Argentina well after 1945. Most people know that Hitler lived out his days in Bariloche, Argentina, until he died there in the mid-1960s. Yes, you can read the CIA documents about this. The FBI documents also about sightings of Hitler in this area. They knew about it. Of course they knew about it. It was largely facilitated, I think it's safe to say, by the United States and its allies.
That's what I'm saying. They saved him.
Quid pro quo.
Also, if you look into this, the skull that is held in Russia that was supposedly the remains of Adolf Hitler with a bullet wound in it is female.
Yeah.
So when you look for proof that Hitler did in fact kill himself in the bunker, you are going to find a lot of dead ends.
Yeah, and all you need to read, you can read a great book on this called The Gray Wolf. It's a great book. There's many books written about this now. But yeah, the skull, the fragments, they ran the DNA tests on it, and the Soviets allowed them to do this testing, and even Stalin openly talked about that Hitler lived, that he was not there, so Stalin even knew about it. It's widely known in Argentina, by the way, well known, that Hitler sired 2 children while he lived in Argentina.
What the fuck?
So Hitler.
Who are those kids? Who the fuck are those kids?
Here's the thing. So supposedly he sired 2 daughters. And what was the big thing that people have been saying for years? That the leader of Germany I think she just recently passed away, but she was the chancellor of Germany for like 15 years or so recently. Do you remember hearing the name Angela Merkel?
Nah.
Angela Merkel was the chancellor, basically like the president of Germany for like 15 years just recently within the very recent history, the 2000s, actually. And there was a huge thing like that she was possibly Hitler's daughter. So I don't know. I don't know who exactly they are, but
What?
I would be willing to bet that they're both in very high positions and they have fake families now that were given
Nobody
to them.
knows who they are. They are
Exactly.
amongst you.
Maybe some of these classified documents that come out will give us maybe an insight into who they are, but I bet you probably not. They'd probably protect those people at this point, because I know if Angela Merkel is one of them, I think I don't want to be wrong about this, but let
The
me look.
motherfucker was eating arepas in Argentina, having kids. Get the fuck out. Hitler.
Oh, actually, I am wrong. She is alive. She's 70 years old now. Let's see if I can. Whenever I
live,
see
people. We didn't plan for this.
look at whenever I see something like this, I'm just gonna bring this up because I want us to see this.
Have you heard the story of the
on.
pottery class? There's a teacher and he's got 2 classes that he
Cut
teaches.
that. So right here, Angela Merkel, this is the former chancellor, right? And then if you go, you don't have to say, is Angela Merkel Hitler's daughter or anything. I want you to see what I searched. Angela Merkel, Hitler. That's it. I didn't ask it if it's Hitler's daughter. And then what do you see? Fact check. The first story. Whenever I see the first story as a fact check from someone like Reuters, fact check. The German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, is not the daughter of Hitler, nor the controller of the U.S. Democratic Party. This was published by Reuters on August 14th, 2020. So, yeah, there was
Jesus, I was the controller of the party? Jesus.
Like, we never know with these people what they're into or what they get themselves into. It's a grab bag with these people. But we're going to move on to our next video. We spent enough time on this one. Let's go.
Have you heard the story of the pottery class? There's a teacher and he's got 2 classes that he teaches. And
I love this.
One class, he says, the only assignment for this whole semester is that you come back with a perfect clay pot. That's it. That's the assignment. The other class, he says, your objective is to make the most total quantity of clay pots, and you'll be measured by how many pots you make. And at the end of the quarter, the pots that came from the team that had to just make sheer volume, not only did they make more pots, but the quality of all of their pots was better compared to the teams that only had to make one. And it just underlines the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life, which is that volume negates luck, is that you can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out.
I love that right there, because that makes me think of the podcast. Like that's what we're doing with this podcast. We ain't waiting on luck.
It's literally what this guy sounds like all the time.
Who? That guy? I sound like him all the time?
This guy.
I get a little crazy sometimes when I get into these things that I pick up. But hey, bro, we're gonna spread these laughs and these messages and these learnings to all these people. That's what I'm hoping to do, and I'm trying to,
I'm gonna learn you something real nice.
Exactly. And we're going to learn something else in this next video.
What would you do if they brought the power grid down?
This is wild, dog. Pay attention to this.
And by they, I mean if the government purposefully brought the power grid down. And I'm not asking that question for fun. I'm asking that question because the World Economic Forum is predicting that a cyber pandemic, you can look this up, they've been running exercises about it this year, is inevitable. You're probably saying, what is a cyber pandemic? Doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we even talking about? Well, first and foremost, the reason I'm even paying attention to the World Economic Forum and their exercises is because they notoriously, in 2019, ran an exercise for a coronavirus pandemic that oddly all became true. I mean, without one slight difference. They said that the coronavirus was going to escape from a wet market in South America. Of course, when the coronavirus swept the world in 2020, they said that it escaped from a wet market in China. You can still look that up, by the way. That's not a conspiracy theory. That they simulated
Real
that
quick,
coronavirus pandemic.
Anybody who wants to look up what she's talking about, she's talking about Event 201, which was held by the World Economic Forum, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, all that. And if you're looking for a date, it was held in New York City on October 19th, 2019. Event 201. Do your research, people.
The World Economic Forum in collaboration with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, in collaboration with Johns Hopkins University. And the website is still up, and they say, the coronavirus pandemic is inevitable. And then, boom, it happened the very next year. So people say it's a conspiracy theory to believe that they knew that the coronavirus pandemic was going to happen. You don't have to believe it was a conspiracy theory, or you can believe it wasn't a conspiracy theory. It's up to you. I don't really care. The point is that they made the prediction, they called it inevitable,
I love her.
And then it happened immediately. So for me personally, that signals to me that I should probably pay attention the next time the World Economic Forum makes a prediction and calls it inevitable. And lo and behold, they are predicting that a coronavirus pandemic, a cyber pandemic, is going to happen, and that it is once again inevitable. So if you look into the exercise that they have run this year, I believe they ran it in July. They've been meeting and talking about the cyber pandemic, what it would look like. Essentially, their idea is that they're going to have to sanitize
it's in
the
your
internet,
face, people. Like, it can't be clearer than that.
Listen.
As like a coronavirus for your computer, is going to sweep globally, and the only way they're going to be able to stop this bug from infecting everything is to effectively shut down the internet, right? And they were talking about bringing down the power grid in an effort to do this. So imagine the government bringing down the power grid, and you would not have access to anything that required an electrical charge.
So, yeah, it seems to me as though they're planning on shutting down the internet and resetting that shit and saying, the virus that spread throughout all these computers all over the world was so bad that we had to erase it all. And then guess what gets all erased? All this awakening that people been doing online all these years lately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You better be a Johnny Appleseed and know how to plan your shit. This motherfucker lives on a farm, so he's good. You better know how to plan your shit.
Hey, dog, if something like this happens, listen, dog, if something like this happens, you got the place to go, and you know you all come out here, dog. Something like that.
You're just kind of in the middle of the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel you. It's so great, but you're kind of in the middle. I really wish you were guys were over here, dog.
Yeah, no, that's something we talk about a lot, but it's something where one day we'll be sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
One day we'll be sitting next to each other, and we won't be across the country recording this podcast. But let's get into the next one.
I can't fucking wait on the same conversation.
So right here, I'm gonna
I can't hear you when it's playing. Just letting you know it's too loud.
I'm going to explain this video to people so the people listening at work or wherever you're at in your car can understand. So this is a bunch of Indians who there was a leaky air conditioner, and it was dripping down the wall into this elephant mouth, a stone elephant thing, and it was like dripping out of the elephant's tusk, and they thought that this thing was some sacred thing, but it was just dirty AC water, and they're all collecting it and drinking it and rubbing it on their face.
The building, the people who maintenance the building have been telling them repeatedly, it's AC runoff. Don't drink it, but they just
keep doing it. Look at them doing it.
जबकि यहाँ के मंदिर के पुजारी के द्वारा इस चीज का खंडन किया गया था कि ये जो जल है वो एसी का आ रहा है, ना कि ये जो है हमारे ठाकुर जी के चरणों से आ रहा है.
So the Indian words you hear are them telling us how special and important this AC water is.
Bro, that first lady took the biggest gulp of water. Like, everybody here must have a fucking infection. You know how fucked disease and germ-ridden that water is?
But think about it, bro. How many videos have you seen of the nastiest ways to prepare food ever come out of India? Like cutting shit with their toes and shit like that. Like, yo, the shit you see. So I feel like Indians are just built with way crazier stomachs, bro. Like, have you ever seen the festival where they worship?
I know
cow
that's why they're
poo
dead in the
and
middle of
they
the
bathe in
river,
it?
bro. No. That's why they're
Have
just
you
dead
ever-
out there in the streets like that, bro. They be
Have you
eating with rats. They share food. Like, I get it, it's culture. It's culture that I don't have no understanding on. So careful, I gotta be careful there. But I mean, I respect everybody on their own choices.
Doug,
Hey, it ain't my life, bro.
I will never understand. You seen the festivals where they worship cow shit and they like bathe themselves in it and
Yo, they collect pee. Like I'm remember that here at the Malice in Wonderland podcast, we are ignorant on Indian culture. If you guys ever want to leave anything there, maybe educate us a bit. We
On
could probably
why
do more
they do
research
these
in it. But
things,
just
if there's
as
something we're
outsiders
not-
and uneducated people, it seems gross to us.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into some more of their antics here.
Originally, it was set down as a traffic barricade. Now the only people it stops are worshipers. A world-renowned shrine in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park.
Hindus come from around the world to worship before it. Buddhists pray at its feet. It was once a granite traffic barricade at San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. It's now revered by thousands as a monument to the Hindu god
Why?
Shiva. Hundreds of Hindus visit each year on guided world tours of sacred sites. They burn incense and offer milk and honey.
Cool water and cool milk. That's he like.
Over time, you get enough people doing that, and you create an energy just kind of in the space itself.
Mystery solved thanks to Jim
Bro,
Wofford.
fucking,
4
I
years
love you,
ago,
dog.
he
Why-
moved the
listen,
stone
dog,
there,
what are
as
you
he's done
doing?
with hundreds
Dog,
of
what are you-
stones in his
Dog,
job
hey,
as
shut
a
up.
crane operator.
Listen.
We just placed it
Here, let
there
me
in
bring it
case
back.
they
Here, let
wanted
me
to
bring it back. I want people at
kind of
home
in the
to hear this
space
guy.
itself.
Mystery solved thanks to Jim Wofford. 4 years ago, he moved the stone there, as he's done with hundreds of stones in his job as a crane operator.
We would just placed it there in case they wanted to put it somewhere, maybe for a traffic barricade or in an entrance to a building.
Now,
Yo, they were like, oh, yo, I looked at how this happened and like, it was like Indians seen it and they were like, look at that smooth shaped rock. Like only a god could have made that.
Hey, I think this is gonna be a reoccurring segment here. You guys, is it racist? I don't think it is. Leave something in the comment, bro, because I don't fucking know what to say about toe meat, and I don't know, man. Just
All right.
cow shit. It's just,
Our last video. Here we go. We're gonna end it on a more serious note.
For anyone going to the grocery store, yes, even natural health food stores. Next time you're on the
Watch
produce
this.
aisle, please.
Remember the name of this stuff. So when you go to the grocery store, you don't ever pick it up. You at home, and especially you, Pablo, because we got a little teeny baby over there. You know.
Please be on the lookout for this label, and whatever you do, do not go near it. Apeel, or Apeel, is a World Economic Forum and Bill Gates funded product that is being sprayed on fruits and vegetables, which are on the verge of spoiling, so that they appear fresh and last longer. Even more frightening is the fact that Apeel has been approved for use on USDA organic produce under the name Organapeel. The main ingredient found in the Apeel coating is mono and diglycerides, which are extracted from grapeseed oil. This is then processed with the use of two solvents, which are ethyl acetate and heptane, both of which are hazardous chemicals known to seriously damage internal organs in the case of repeated exposure. This coating cannot be washed off. Additionally, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC, recognized glycidol, another name for these same ingredients, as, quote, probably carcinogenic to humans. So why are they spraying this literal poison on our food? One thing is for certain.
Bitch ass
Apeel should be
nigga.
kept far, far away from our food supply.
Saying it is
The ability of this
fucking
$2
rich
billion
ass.
Bill
Fuck that
Gates
guy,
backed
bro. Bro, whoa.
Yeah, Doug. It's crazy because they're trying to poison our minds. They're trying to poison our bodies. Dude, it's a
Hey, you guys,
full-on-
you don't still fuck. You
it's-
guys don't believe it still, dog? Like, what the fuck does it take, dog? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck does it take? Like, I really
They're
need
poisoning-
the viewers. I need you guys to wake up and really fucking like, come on, dog. Like, I let me fucking know that you're here, dog, because I don't know what the fuck to do with this. You're kidding me?
Exactly.
I'm gonna see people with the appeal bullshit somewhere. I already know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm gonna try. If I see people in the store picking that up, if I ever see those things, I'm gonna warn them. And if they buy it at that point, you know, it's on them. But I'll give them the information. Hey, you know those chemicals on there are cancer causing, and they're gonna poison you slowly, right? Yeah, don't eat them. So that's been Doom Scroll for this week. It was a roller coaster of emotions. We laughed a little bit. We got mad there at the end. We got a little scared listening to Candace Owens talk about fucking the internet being shut down. A little bit of doom and gloom. You need to sprinkle
Remember
that in
that.
there. Exactly. Remember that. Keep that in your mind. Do some research on that, because in July they're holding meetings on that inevitable fucking cyber pandemic happening. But anyway, it's been great. And right now, you know what time it is, dog? It's time to go
again?
down the Reddit hole.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Fuck, dog.
Shit.
God damn, bro. I'm never gonna get used to falling down the Reddit hole, man. That shit is
My
bad
leg,
for my
huh?
back, bro. Fuck. Jesus
Fuck my
Christ.
knee up.
I'm gonna break this fucking chair falling down that hole, dog. But anyway, it's we're
My
back in
fat
the
ass.
Reddit hole. We're back in the Reddit hole, and we got some great things that I found to show, you know, to leave the show off with this week. The first one here, I mentioned it earlier, is a video I got from the Myanmar, Thailand earthquake. This is crazy, dog. Let's watch this video. This must have been the most sobering thing that could ever happen in somebody's fucking life. Because watch this. Do you see the two people on this raft?
Yeah.
Watch what happens to the raft after they get off, and just think of what would be going through your mind if you just got off that raft and then seen that a few seconds later. Just watch. Watch them get off the raft and then pay attention to the raft. This is a rooftop pool when the earthquake started. This must have been fucking terrifying. You see the water start shaking? Look at that.
Yeah.
Just wait, dog. They're like, oh shit.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit. Oh shit. It's time to go. Let's get off this. Now pay attention to what happens to that fucking thing. Now, boom. Watch, you're going to see the fucking railing get taken out. Boom. You seen that railing get taken out? Now there's no railing there. And watch these fucking things, bro. Watch the thing they were just sitting on, bro. Whoop. There goes one.
Yo, that infinity shit is crazy.
There goes here. Boop. Here we go. Here goes the second one. Whoop. Like, imagine, dog. Like, imagine if you didn't have the fucking time, bro. Like, look at that. Boom, gone. And then the thing to think about is that's a rooftop,
fucking insane.
Dude, that's a rooftop fucking pool. That's looks like it's so fucking high up, right? And basically, they just fucking all that glass and all that metal that just broke off that railing. How far did it fall? Was there anybody down there?
Yeah, because
Was
that
there
shit
anybody
goes
down
out.
there?
That shit doesn't just fall straight down. That shit goes
Yeah,
out.
like who was down there when all that glass and metal fell and all that water and shit? Like, dog, and that's one rooftop pool. That's why I say, bro, I am so glad, like I said earlier, I do not live in a fucking place where there's earthquakes, because that shit, to me, dog, is crazy. But we're going to get into this next one. This one I thought was pretty crazy, and I'm like, was it really an accident or was it not an accident? Here we go. So we have Epstein and Prince Andrew victim, Virginia Giuffre, the one that's been going on an interview tour recently, talking about how much of a piece of shit.
She got hit by the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. And look what she had to say. This year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore anyone with the details, but I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometers an hour As we are slowing for a turn. No matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I've gone into kidney renal failure, and they've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. But you know what they say about wishes: shit in one hand and wish in the other. And I guarantee it's still going to be shit at the end of the day. Thank you all for being wonderful people of the world and for being a great part of my life. God bless you all. XX kisses,
Damn,
Virginia.
bro.
What's crazy to me about that is, like, I don't think that the school bus crashing into her was intentional or
It was an
anything.
accident.
But I
Oh.
think that people like Prince Andrew, as soon as they
They're gonna
heard,
make it,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, she's in a hospital now. Oh, let's get our doctors to tell her you only got 4 days. You're going into kidney renal failure, and she don't know what they're shooting into her. You know what I'm saying? I think the accident was completely
The
plausible,
autopsy will speak everything.
but not really, because they own all the corners, they're gonna have that autopsy say whatever the autopsy needs to say. But honestly, like, I really think that maybe this is a situation where, yes, the school bus crashing into her was an accident, but it was the best accident that ever could have happened to a guy like Prince Andrew, and his family, because now she's helpless in a hospital surrounded by doctors in an institution that they probably own. You know what I'm saying? Doctors, they probably, think they don't have their
she's in a hard
patsies?
place. Yo.
Think about
Shit
what
in
she
one
said.
hand and what? A wish in the other?
Think about what
That was
she
nice.
said. They're sending me to a different hospital to a specialist urologist. Who's that specialist? That's what I want to know. Who are the doctors they're sending them to, and what is their background? I think that those questions need to be asked. But here's our last thing we're going to get into on.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, right. Those questions need to be asked. Who these doctors are that are taking care of them, and who their connections are with. So if anybody has the ability to look into that, maybe we as a show. You know what? Scratch that. I'm not looking into that. I don't want to know. If somebody else finds out and
I have
tells
nothing
me,
to do with that.
yeah, if someone finds out and tells me, that'd be great, but I ain't going looking. Yeah, any powers that be, I'm not going looking, I promise. Because I don't want to end up like these ladies. So this is our last down the Reddit hole. This is weird
these
to
poor
me.
women. Oh my God.
Tragedy rocks Texas Sheriff Office as 4 deputies die by suicide in 6 weeks. It caught a lot of us by surprise. I bet you whoever gave that quote is part of the reason they're all dead.
Yeah, I bet.
And somebody, look at that. One of the top comments here, I don't know if you could see, is the top comment is, reminds me of 4 LA
Reminds me
sheriffs.
of 4 LA Sheriff's Department's employees died by suicide in 24 hours, November 2023.
Oh yeah, and how about this next comment? When Wiener's laptop contents were leaked, Frazzle Drip and the life insurance file to the NYPD, 9 of them committed suicide. Do you remember
suicide.
that?
Yep.
Do you remember that? Yep. Like everybody who came in contact with that laptop.
The video that
ended up
doesn't
dead.
exist but exists.
Exactly. Everybody who came into that contact with that laptop has ended up dead at this point. So that's it for this week for Down the Reddit Hole. It's been a great show. I had a lot of fun this episode. We've been having a lot of fun lately.
Amazing.
Exactly, especially since we started Conspiracy Court, since we've been filming the episode a little different and we're not on edge trying to nail it right, straight through the first time every time. We're bringing you better quality. We're shooting sections, post-production, putting it all together, a much more professional format. I'm sure you guys can tell.
Got my little
whoever's
light.
watching.
We got microphones. We got cameras on deck now.
We're getting
and
up there
soon
pretty
we'll
soon.
be 4K, baby. Don't worry.
Soon we'll be 4K. Soon we'll have our little microphone flags here to show off. You know what I'm saying? We'll have our little custom color fucking our little windscreens for
That
this.
looks weird. That looks weird. That looks weird. Stop it. Clip that.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Yeah, that did look bad. No homo. But anyway, so yeah, it was a great episode. What was your favorite part, Doug?
Everything is fun. Conspiracy court, man, stays being. I get to learn. I get to play a little role. It's fun for me, bro. I really like that one. Yeah, man. I think Down the Rabbit Hole was really interesting. The cops and the girl that got hit by the bus, the Epstein victim. Listen, I think we closed out great. This was a beautiful episode, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy birthday to this guy right here. All right,
Whoop,
that's
whoop,
the
a
hardest
big
worker I know
3-6,
right now.
Dog. 3-6. Anybody else who's over here 36 with me, I want you to comment 3-6
Anybody, it's your
Mafia.
birthday, comment.
3-6 Mafia. Just the letter 3. Or I'm an idiot. The number 3, the number 6, and Mafia. 3-6 Mafia. That's what I want you to comment. What I also want you to do while you're on this video, like, comment, subscribe. Go to Rumble. Add us on Rumble. Go to our TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram.
Add me in your mom's phone, man. Put me down with your auntie.
Yeah. Definitely put him down with
My
your
girl's
auntie.
cool.
You know, especially if she got back problems, he's the auntie chiropractor.
I'm a chiropractor. I know how to knock them fucking knots out her back. Yeah.
Exactly. And we're going to be coming back to X very soon, but we're just having some technical difficulties there with me arguing with X back and forth, and they keep denying my claim of my shit was hacked when it obviously was. I might have to just abandon that account and start a new one this week. It is what it is. Things happen. I'm just going to make sure everything else is much more secure at this point. I changed my password to some shit that's like this fucking long. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, like how the fuck those assholes? Hey, if any of you guys know how to be an asshole and, figure out people's shit, like, that'd be cool. I mean, I like to learn. You guys can leave something in the comment, maybe send us a private link.
That would be awesome. Like, once this show really gets big, we'll be
They're
able
gonna
to
send
say
us the
shit
virus.
like that.
Watch, they're gonna send us the virus to crack our shit.
Yeah, dog. Exactly. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you want us to look into some people? All right, we're gonna look into you." And you know what they're gonna do? You know what's gonna be the worst thing for us, dog? Because we're so controversial, is when we really start gaining some real traction, and then liberals come for us, and then they hack our phones, and they see all the weird porn we watch, and stuff like that, and they're like,
I don't give a fuck. I watch what I watch. You want to see? I'll show you. Put y'all on. Fuck that shit. I stand on my porn.
They're gonna fucking be putting any dirt that they think they have on us out. But
in all seriousness, I don't know. I'm not speaking for you, dog, but I advocate against that shit. You guys shouldn't watch that shit. Shouldn't waste your time. Go fuck a girl in real life, dog. Go find yourself a girl, man. Get your shit together.
Exactly. That's why I got my girl in the other room, and you got your girl at work, correct?
But you do it too much, yeah. But you do it too much, you end up with a baby like I got one. So you know what I mean. But it's fun. Babies is cool.
Hey,
I love her. The best.
And so that's gonna wrap up the show today. And we have some wise words. We're gonna correct the fucking mistake that my idiot ass made in the breakdown. We have wise words from Joko Willnick, not Dr. Jordan Peterson, and we're gonna leave you off with that. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.